Let's cross now to the UK for the latest rundown on all that's happened in the once Great Britain in the last week. Joining us to dissect all of that is a fighter against the establishment. We like those. He's known by some as the black face of white supremacy, Danny Roscoe. Welcome to the program, Danny.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you.
We've got to start, sadly, with a terrible, tragic event at the Notting Hill Carnival over the weekend. More than one event. It's supposed to be a family day out. 8 stabbed and 334 arrests. But this isn't the first time this event has descended into chaos, right?
Yeah, no, it happens every single year. It's got to the state now that the chaos is so bad that the residents move out. They board up their houses just to allow this to happen. Now, I don't believe that the residents for a street party should be doing this when the Metropolitan Police and Sadiq Khan and the Mayor of London can simply move it to a different location like Hyde Park or something like that where it's more contained.
Are you getting much of an explanation or some leadership from the new Labor government? Has Starmer said anything about the weekend?
No, he has not said anything that I've heard of. He did a speech yesterday and he was relating his time as the Department of Public Prosecutions in 2011 during those riots. And that was a race riots after a criminal, Mark Duggan, was shot by the police. So he was relating that to yesterday's speech without saying what was happening in Notting Hill, which needs to be said. But he's promoting this type of degeneracy. He is promoting this type of DEI. So he can't legitimately say that this is what's happening because he's against what his puppet masters are telling him.
And this in many ways is, as you say, a flag-bearing event for DEI, right?
100% it is. Otherwise, it wouldn't be allowed to be going on. Now, Tommy Robinson took 100,000 people to Trafalgar Square, which was a flag-bearing, waving event of patriotism, of English values, of our culture. And, 24 hours after that, he was arrested and branded a terrorist. But there was no arrests made having drugs, stabbings, gun violence, sexual assaults. A mother with a child got stabbed. This is the levels of what happened, and still nobody's speaking about it because they need the DEI project to work. Yeah,
and that's why you haven't heard from him. But Keir Starmer is saying that he's turning a corner on Brexit and repairing the relationship with the EU by stepping forward on a new deal for increased collaboration with Germany. What does this mean for the future of Brexit?
Well, Brexit has always been in name only. Successive governments have let down the British people. We have voted to leave the European Union and we have never really left. It's just in name only. So it doesn't surprise me that he's doing that. But with only 20% of the vote that he's got, he now knows that he needs to increase that. And the only way he can increase that is to allow the woke generation, the under 30s, to have this type of unfettered access to Europe. They won't be using the visas. They'll be in the Schengen area. And then he'll drop the voting age down to 16 years old. So then that he can turn the 20% voted for him to the 40%. And, what he's doing now with the EU is literally just to secure votes in 4 years' time. He can't get ourselves back in there, but he can do some little bits and pieces, just like what the Marxists have done in the education system to make us shackle to them for years to come.
Yeah, fortifying the castle to stay in power for as many decades as they can. He's also warned...
Definitely.
Yeah, he's also warned he's going to have to make painful decisions if they're going to fix the Tories' financial mess. What's that going to look like for the Brits?
Well, already it looks like that our elderly, our pensioners, our infirmed have been removed their winter fuel allowance. Now, with the proxy war in Ukraine, our gas prices have gone sky high, and now they're going to be forced to be paying that or freezing this winter. And that's what it comes down to. They're not, it's going to be eating or heating. But before all these elections came across and he was doing his tour of the United Kingdom, he was talking about how he's going to do a windfall tax off the people who have made billions of pounds, like the energy sector. But now he's in power, he seems to not do that, and he's taking it away from the elderly. is a £22 billion black hole that he already knows about, that he's claiming that he doesn't know about. But yet in Parliament in May, I think it was March or May, he told about a £44 billion Tory black hole. So he's just playing the games. He's making sure that, the people who didn't vote for Labour, for years for years before, they're going to feel they're going to feel the full force of it. While he gives billions to Ukraine, he's giving billions to the illegal immigrants that are coming across. That's not in a black hole. That's already all right. But what he's going to do is going to attack the working class and the pensioners.
Yeah, revenge comes in all sorts of forms, and that's one of them. You actually say that black voices who are pro-Britain are being stifled at home. Surely that doesn't fly with Labor's anti-racism policies.
Labour's anti-racism policy and his Afrophobia policy is just meaning that whoever you are, if you're against the DEI narrative and against what Labour say, that we can brand you a racist. I've heard black people say some of the sentences in polite conversation that they said is Labour are saying is racist, and it's not good. So essentially, if you're pro-British and you're for the country and you want to call out the DEI policies and everything that they're trying to do against white people, because we've got to remember there's an anti-white agenda going on by pushing the DEI. That's what they're doing by default. So if you're exposing that, they don't like that. But it doesn't matter what colour your skin is anymore. You're going to be racist if you don't support the regime.
Oh, how frustrating and annoying is that approach. Now, just back to what you do, Danny. You've hit a few road bumps getting Danny Roscoe Unfiltered off the ground as YouTube has found your content a little too unsavoury, I hear. Tell us about this fight and what's so unsavoury about what you say.
Again, it's a fight with the establishment, trying to get the truth out. We know that the truth isn't freely available anymore, and that's global. But in the UK, it's on steroids. Now, when Elon Musk took over X, I had 2,000 people. I had the same problems as what I did. As soon as he took over, I've now reached my following. It's nearly 30,000 now. But my YouTube stayed the same. So we know that, the people who are behind the YouTubes, the people, the establishments, the big heads who want to make sure that white people are the only ones that are speaking out against black issues. And we can easily call them racist because you don't hear the black voices. Why don't you hear the black voices? Because we are not being able to get out there. If I today said, you know what, I fully support it, I'm going to push the critical race theory, I'm going to push the DEI, I'm going to push anti-white rhetoric, I'll be on every single talk show.
Of course you will.
By the end of the day.
You'll get access to all areas, Danny.
Exactly, and that's what it is. And because I will not stay silent. I will not give up, and I keep pushing. This is why they just don't let me get out there. But thankfully, we have avenues to get out, and especially like your show as well. People are having us on, so at least the world knows there is black conservatives in the UK. It's not just white people who are speaking out and white people who are patriotic. And that, to me, what they're doing to me is racism. Because the colour of my skin, they're not allowing me to be a true British patriot.
It's unbelievable. You keep fighting. You keep those dukes up and we'll be supporting you. Fabulous to have you on our program too, by the way, and thank you very much for giving us your time. All the best.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Much appreciated. Danny Roscoe is his name. I like what he stands for. I like the way he says it, and we'll have him on the program further into the future. Danny Roscoe, remember that name. After the break, Bob Catter and those damn grocery prices. After a break.